Jesus. Whew. Got me a little dizzy when I got up from the sitting down, standing up, which has been really common for me today. I guess I like feeling the loopy vibes. So hello and welcome to day 151 of 365 days of Facebook Live. My name is Jessica Lozano, and I help women have extraordinary love lives with the love of their life. So, hello and welcome. Today is going to be a video. I like to do these every 50 days. Yesterday I forgot to do it because I just had something else in my mind that I wanted to do, but I like to break it up in these 50-day chunks. It helps me to reflect and observe my life and, or not my life, the Facebook Lives, and acknowledge what I've learned, what's happened, and all the things. So these last 50 days, I would say that what I really learned was to slow down. And this is just like entirety within my whole business, right? To slow down and take more of my time when I'm creating, because that's really important for me, for my energy system, to slow down. And this allows me to be more creative and allow more potency to come through. And I've also learned that definitely I need to be more mindful about my moon cycle and when I'm launching things, especially because I have quite a few things that I'm creating and putting out there, that my moon cycle is really important and I need to really honor that. So that makes a difference in how I show up. And this last masterclass that I did really allowed me to see that. It's like, yeah, Jessica, you really need to make sure you honor your time and honor how your schedule is and how it's structured. So those were like some really valuable things that I've learned. I've also learned with these Facebook Lives is like, I don't need to like try to create something new from my head. I can just take what my clients are going through and share a nugget of wisdom with you about what they are going through. Because most likely you are probably going through something like that too. And that really helps a lot. It makes it easier. So I was making my Facebook Live a little bit harder, and as well, it's going to be giving value to you because you're here to have an extraordinary love life, and my clients are the ones who are getting coaching through that. So I get to share that with you. Right? So that made myself a lot easier, and it made my creative channel so much easier as well, and allowed me to share those things with you, and you get some nuggets of wisdom. So the first thing was slowing it down, right? Not being so like fast and I had to launch things quick like this or whatever. Slow down my creative process and allow myself to be more potent in how I'm creating, which is a lot of nervous system regulation, right? Because we're always wanting to like go and to do things and you got to do this now, but that can block your creative flow and not allow the potency of what you're going to create, or as well as push through when you're really meant to sit, channel, and then when you release it, it's going to be more potent in the availability of how people feel when they feel your work, right? So that was like a big thing for me, slowing down. Don't be trying to create something new all the time, like what my clients are experiencing and going through. I can just share with you with my Facebook Lives, and that gives so much value to you, like so much, and it makes my life so much easier. I can just like channel it right through. And then trusting my voice. This last 50 days is like trusting my voice, trusting your voice. That's so important. It's so vital to trust your own voice, trust the message that is being delivered and being sent. Like that one's huge for me, and it goes hand in hand with this, that just because no one's watching live, it doesn't make it less valuable. It doesn't make what I'm speaking and trusting my voice doesn't make it any less valuable if there's nobody live. Like not having anyone live is okay, right? And then we can, like, I know I pressured myself and thinking that I had to have all these people live, and if people weren't listening, then what I'm saying isn't of value, and that's not true. That's not true at all, right? Like just because we see all these other people, all these other coaches or whoever have a crap load of people on their lives, it's fucking amazing. But it doesn't take away from your voice and doesn't take away any less value to what you have to share and offer to the world, right? Like everything that I say is now out there to be listened to. And most importantly, it's trusting my own channel, right? As I'm doing these Facebook Lives, which is one of the main purposes of why I did it. So trusting your own voice is going to bring more authenticity and power into your lives, into whatever it is that you're creating. I know that definitely transferred in my last masterclass. Like trusting my voice was so powerful. And just because no one's watching doesn't make it less valuable. Slow the fuck down. Slow the fuck down. Listen to your body. Allow your body to lead, and everything's going to come out so much more potent because you're listening to your body and not going on the nervous, your agitated nervous system that says you need to get things done out there now. Who says that? Who says that? Like, why? Why, if you wait 2 more days, nothing's going to happen? Like, it's actually like nothing bad's going to happen. Waiting those 2 days will make all the difference in the world for you and what you're putting out there and what you're creating. This goes the same with like if you're conversating in relationships. Like if you're not ready to have a conversation with your partner, you can wait a couple of days. Like nothing bad's going to happen, right? Like it's in the slowing down. It's in the allowing the process to take shape, to take form. And then when you're ready to execute, so much more potency. So that's what I've learned in the last 50 days. That's what I'm here to share with you. Hopefully within this, you got some little nuggets to allow yourself to soak in within you that your flow is unique to you. Your flow is unique to you. And that is part of your authenticity. As a matter of fact, I will say that with my last masterclass, because I was listening more to my authenticity and listening to myself and my body, and what worked really fast because I moved the masterclass a week up, and I even moved the start date because of my period starting. That it made me feel so good, like about myself and showing up, that my channel was so good and free. And the response was amazing too from the women who joined the masterclass. So that allowed me to be more authentic, showing up, which is what I talk about, which is what that whole masterclass was about, and which is what you are here to be. You are here to fulfill your purpose authentically. You are here to be in relationship authentically. Like you're here to be your authentic self, right? So when you listen to yourself and you listen to your own personal flow about how things go, you're being authentic and true to you. And listening to your authentic flow doesn't mean you just stop everything. You still show up, but you're showing up at what feels true to you, what your commitments were that you're available for, and maybe pushing some other strong, powerful conversations, commitment a little bit further if it means that your authentic channel is going to come out more pure and more aligned with you. So that's what I learned. I hope that, okay. So normally I share about what I'm going to do the next 50 days. So the next 50 days, I just want to continue to solidify what I've learned and integrate it even deeper, which I'm going to do that with my next program that I'm launching, the Creatrix, which is all about the birthing cycle, the death and rebirth cycle of creating the reality, creating the world that we want, and in union, of course, and how the power of your own creation cycle, the creation cycle between man and woman in union, really important to understand this concept in order for you to really build a harmonious relationship and allow it to continue to evolve. That program, I'm going to allow it to come at its own time. I mean, not at its own time, to slow it down. So I thought I was going to bring it out in October, but I think I'm going to do it early November. I am going to do it early November, most likely like November. And I'm going to allow all the modules and everything to come through to me and take my time with it. I'm not going to rush it until I know exactly Like I'll give myself like a somewhat of a deadline, but I'm gonna be okay to push it if I need to. So that's number one. Number two, this has been a really strong week for me with all, even the past couple of weeks has been very intense with my teaching. So next week, I'm going to take time off. Not even time off, but I'm going to be really in my own practices. Like something wants to be birthed through. I can feel it, which is very perfect and very aligned for the creatrix. And also, I know this about my own mind, that whenever I'm needing to slow down is because something wants to come through. There's a destruction phase that needs to happen, or like a refertilizing phase, right? That's also kind of part of this death and rebirth cycle. Like it could be just like a little bit of cleaning up, a little bit of purifying, a little bit of a releasing. It doesn't have to be always so intense to come up on the other side. And I remember the last time I didn't do that and I kept pushing through, I almost collapsed. Like I did collapse, not like a big one, but I had a baby collapse. So I'm gonna do that next week, sharing this for accountability. Also, there's 2 books. There's 3 things that I really, really, really want to do that have been calling me, that I haven't felt something like this in a while. So I'm really excited to dive into these 2 teachings, these practices that I have in these 2 books. And I'm gonna do an anchoring of a grid in my office. Like this office is feeling the energy to get cleansed and alchemized. Oh my God. And also I signed up for a Reiki. My dad signed me up for a Reiki course. He asked me if I wanted to do it and I said yeah. So that's also really exciting. Like there's so much happening right now in my world. Like, oh my God, I'm so excited for the last quarter. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. Let me know what's going on in your life. What changes are you making? Like what you're feeling, and like all these things. Because this eclipse, I think, really cleaned up a lot of stagnant energy, and I'm really excited to see what's to come. And what I want to say about next week is that the anxiety or the nervous system regulation to slow down. How do I say this? Okay, so basically I want to say that right now, like if I were to think of what I want to bring in, if I think about it through my mind's going to tell me you got to show up, you got to really sell hard. But I know, first of all, that doesn't fucking work for me. Like every time I sell hard, it's like the complete opposite. I was like, I'm not fucking doing that shit. And that's never what has helped me to actually achieve the numbers that I want to achieve. So I'm going to listen to my body. I'm going to slow it down. I'm going to allow the creativity to want to come through. I'm going to allow my body to go through this death and rebirth cycle. And in the meantime, I welcome money and clients to come into my world. And like, I trust, like I deeply, profoundly trust, including the fact that I just signed up for a course, paid that in full, that some of my containers are closing up, availability to renew. Like there's so many things that I can logically freak out about with money, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to do that. That doesn't work. Instead, I'm going to trust in myself. I'm going to trust in my connection with my higher self. I'm going to trust money, and I'm going to trust God. I'm going to trust this feeling that I feel that is pulling me towards something. So I also wanted to share that with you, because that's what I'm going to be bringing in the next 50 days. So I hope you have a beautiful night. It's nice and rainy here today again. I'm going to go make some dinner. I'm going to catch up on some Telegram coaching with my clients, and I'll talk to you soon.